I thought Memphis drivers were bad. In Springfield, they're bad in their own way. So you have people who are, all of them pretty much are amateurs. Like, none of them are professional drivers. You go to a place like Memphis, everybody has a trucking job or some sort of food delivery service job on the side. Everybody drives, everybody knows how to drive. And even the people who are being assholes, they're skilled and they know what they're doing. Like, they literally know what they're doing, and that's the part that I don't like about them, is that they know that they can switch lanes, clearing your car by literally 2 inches. They know they can do that. I hate that because they know they can do that, and 1 out of 1,000 times they fuck up because nobody's perfect, right? um that's the problem with Memphis drivers, is that they're all professionals. They all think they know better. They all want to race. They all want to go fast. They all want to be first. They all want to cut you off. They all want to jump the line. They all want to, come around you, even though you're like going through red lights or turning or doing whatever. Like, you could literally be trying to turn into a driveway and you're going to have somebody coming around you going in the out, just because they want around you. That's what I don't like about Memphis. Here, the problem is different. It's that nobody knows how to drive a car, like, at all. So you'll be driving and all of a sudden someone will just slam on their brakes because they don't know how to drive, or they'll see their turn coming and so they'll slam on their brakes because, again, they don't understand that you have to start letting the person behind you know that you're gonna turn before you just slam on your brakes and take the turn, because you're not giving them any time to react, right? um so a lot of the amateur driving type stuff, it's kind of like being in a city of 13-year-olds that just like don't know how to drive, you know, and they're too courteous at times, where like they're holding up traffic or they're putting people in danger because they have the right of way, but they don't want to go because they want to be nice and they want you to go, and then the other person's confused because they're like, "What? You have the right of way though." So it's stuff like that, and just like not being able to control the vehicle in general is pretty dangerous. So like they'll be going across a parking lot or something and they'll like almost hit pedestrians or something because they don't understand like how steering and acceleration and the physics of actually moving the car like work in any kind of practical sense. They probably understand it on a logical sense, like, oh, if I turn the steering wheel to the right, it goes to the right, but like they don't understand like the feel of the radius of their car at different speeds, and the rev of their engine. They don't understand what it's supposed to be at, so they'll be revving their engines too high or too low, or they'll just be sitting there and then they'll just floor it. And then people in Memphis do that too. But that's because they think they're race car drivers, not because they're stupid and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Anyways, so yeah. I mean, have you ever just like watched like a high school, or like you go somewhere like maybe a movie or something, and there's like these kids driving, and it's like they're texting or they're like veering off, or they're just like doing whatever the fuck they want because they think it's okay, or like they're cutting people off, or like there's pedestrians trying to cross and they just go ahead and go anyways. um that's how this entire city drives. It's like every single person here is a shitty fucking driver, and it makes it incredibly dangerous. And at first it's charming, because at first it's like, oh, everyone here is nice, nobody is trying to race me, nobody is um, you know uh, speeding at like extreme speeds, nobody is doing any of that stuff. It's just like, oh, it seems nice because, like, oh, they let me out, I was trying to turn there and they actually let me out. That was so nice of them. But then it takes you about 20 minutes to realize this place is shit and the drivers are fucking shit. So anyways, I was at a red light and we're turning left, and so there's me and this truck behind me. We both turn left, and it's illegal to, as you're turning left at a red light, to switch to the other lane. But he did. He switched to the other lane, but he was still behind me. So he's in the other lane, I'm in this lane. I look in my mirror, I see he's still behind me. I'm like, he's not in the way, right? So I can switch lanes, whatever. I didn't think anything about it. I don't care about this guy, right? I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Like, what? Like, he's the one who chose to switch lanes illegally. Why is that my problem? It's not. So I look, I legally do it safely. Boom, turn on my blinker, start turning into his lane. Well, he doesn't like that. He sees the blinker come on. He starts speeding up. I start getting over. He starts speeding up even more. He almost hits me. He almost rear ends me. And then he comes over into this lane And then he gets up here, and I had to slam on my brakes for him to not hit me. Like, we were like this. Like, the front of my car and the back of his truck were like that close to each other. And I'm like veering off the road and slamming on my brakes. And he's slamming on his brakes to try to hit me. And I'm just like, what the fuck, you know? So I get his license plate number. I called the police, and they're like, well, where were you at? So I tell them the road, and they're like, but which way were you going? And I'm like, towards such and such a street. And they're like, yeah, but were you going towards the prison or away from the prison? And I'm like, I don't know, I'll have to look. So I'm like, I'm just thinking, you know, he's getting away, you know, you guys are just wasting my time for no reason. And I'm like, I think north, I don't know. I think south, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I told him, if it was north or south, because I didn't know. I was like, I'm just like going around the city doing DoorDashes. I don't know if I'm going north or south, or what street I'm on. You know, I'm just trying to get my job done, and this guy tries to kill me. But because I'm not a fucking magical GPS that knows exactly what street I'm on and what direction I'm on, like, you know, and I'm trying to use a GPS to figure it out, but it's not simple. It's not like you can just look at it and tell. Like, you have to zoom in and get it to show you the street, and half the time it won't show you the street. Then you have to try to figure out where the prison is, and then figure out, is that north or south, you know? And it's just like, whatever. So, anyways, I gave him the license plate number, and they're like, well, if we see him driving like that, we'll pull him over, but there's nothing else we can do. It's like, okay, I'm pretty sure he just like attempted to murder me. He should have his license taken away, but whatever. You know, I got his license plate number, and it's a small town, so I, you know, and I've been saying, like, ever since I've been walking around here and stuff, I need to be carrying a brick or a hammer or something in my pocket, because like that was one person that actually, I was crossing and they tried to hit me while I was crossing in the McDonald's parking lot, and I looked at them like, really now? Because I mean, in Memphis they would just pull out a gun. Like, that would be the end of that confrontation. But the fact that it's Springfield, hardly anybody has a gun, so they know they can get away with like running pedestrians over or running cars off the road for no reason and shit like that. So it's like, I don't want to kill anybody, you know, and that was something I was thinking about, was like, I don't want to kill that old man. I just don't want him to be able to drive anymore. You know, like, I don't want to hurt him or go to jail or prison or anything over his bullshit. I just want them to take away his license, but they're not going to do that, because I mean, the police don't do their job, and we really don't need them. We need to defund the police and not even have them, because all they do is oppress poor people, and they never catch criminals or actually prevent any crime at all, ever. So there's really no point in paying them. That money should be going towards children's nutrition or education or community services that people could actually benefit from. But that's just my opinion. What do I know? I'm just some dumb bitch, right?